hum of Hong Kong. She was an artist, but her canvases had become commodities, her inspiration, a currency she no longer possessed. Each brushstroke felt like a lie. One rain-slicked evening, staring at the relentless city lights, she booked a flight to the quietest place she could imagine. A remote corner of Norway, a place the maps seemed to forget. The silence of the Norwegian fjords was louder than any city. It was in that profound quiet that her rental car died, swallowed by a sudden thick fog on a road that clung to the mountainside. With no phone signal, she walked, following a faint, pulsing warmth she felt more than saw. It led her to Eikdal, a village of grass-roofed houses nestled in a valley, seemingly untouched by the century. An elderly woman with silver braids and eyes, the color of a winter sea, found her at the edge of the village. "You are lost," the woman said, her voice like rustling leaves. It was not a question, but you are welcome. All who find Eikdal are meant to stay for 3 days. It is our way. The woman introduced herself as Astrid. Cold and exhausted, Anneli agreed. The first day, Anneli watched a man named Bjorn building a boat. He used no blueprints, only his hands and the rhythm of a song his grandfather had taught him. "The wood remembers the shape of the water," he told her, as shavings curled from his plane like written words. Anneli realized he wasn't building a boat, he was telling a story of the sea. The second day, she sat with a woman named Solveig at a giant loom. The threads were dyed with berries and moss, holding the colors of the valley. As Solveig wove, she recounted the history of Eikdal, each pattern a chapter, each color a season. Anneli ran her hand over the tapestry, feeling the texture of time itself. That evening, the villagers gathered in a longhouse around a central fire. Astrid sat beside Anneli, the flames dancing in her ancient eyes. "We are not just weavers and carvers," she explained softly. "We are the guardians of these crafts. We keep the old ways alive, not in books, but in our bones, in our work. Each of us is a library." Astrid's gaze grew intense. "Our skald, the keeper of our collected stories, grows weary. We need a new one. Someone who understands the image behind the word, the feeling behind the form. Someone who can see the stories we live." She looked directly at Anneli. "We need an artist." The offer was a terrifying, beautiful weight. To abandon her life, her career, everything she had built? Anneli walked out into the Norwegian night. The stars were a brilliant, silent explosion in the ink-black sky, more real than any city lights. The silence wasn't empty. It was filled with the whispers of the mountains and the river. On her third morning, Anneli found a block of birchwood and a carving knife on her doorstep. She sat in the early light and, without thinking, began to carve. She carved the feeling of the fog on the fjord, the warmth of the fire, the wisdom in Astrid's eyes. It was the first honest art she had created in years. Astrid found her there, holding the small, rough carving of a bird taking flight. Anneli looked up, her eyes clear for the first time in a decade.